What if I told you 1970 wasn't just about the big names ruling the charts? That year marked a shift, moving from the counterculture of the 60s to a mix of new sounds, where music spoke to social change and offered carefree escape. These tracks weren't just hits. Many sold over 1 million copies or climbed into Billboard's top 5, yet their creators faded fast. Join us as we unlock the stories of 17 forgotten one-hit wonders from 1970.
Summertime when the weather is high, you can stretch right up.
Imagine a track that instantly transports you to endless summer days in 1970. That's Mungo Jerry's In the Summertime. The song hit number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100 in July 1970, and its lopsided shuffle beat, rooted in jug band blues, paired with that gritty kazoo, made it unlike anything else. Picture yourself at 18, riding with friends, windows down, this tune cranking through the speakers. It wasn't just big in the US, it spent 7 weeks at number 1 in the UK and sold over 6 million copies worldwide its first year. Fun fact, the band's acoustic guitars and heavy stomping rhythm gave it a raw edge that grabbed the youth of the era. Internal instability, like bassist Mike Cole's dismissal, and Ray Dorsett's reservations about the limiting jug band style killed their follow-up chances. Stick around for another 1970 hit that sparked a different kind of magic. Have you ever wondered what song ruled the UK charts at the start of 1970? Meet Edison Lighthouse with Love Grows Where My Rosemary Goes. This bubblegum pop gem reached number 5 on the Billboard Hot 100, stayed there for 13 weeks, and earned a gold disc certification. Its catchy chorus, so easy to sing along to, hooked listeners with its bright, upbeat vibe. It delivered pure, carefree joy to a generation, making every second feel light. Lead singer Tony Burrows was a session star, singing on 4 UK top 10 hits with different bands at the same time, which meant no stable lineup for Edison Lighthouse. Despite their talent, they faded quickly. As a studio-assembled project without a real band, they couldn't tour consistently. The bubblegum pop model, relying on catchy singles and transient musicians, rarely built lasting careers. Let's keep going to another track that carried a whole different spirit. What if a song could whisk you away on a journey through 1970? That's Blues Image with Ride Captain Ride. This track rocketed to number 4 on the Billboard Hot 100, matched that peak in Canada, and sold over 1 million copies. Its mix of rock, blues, and Latin flair felt totally new, striking a chord with listeners. Tune your memory to that radio dial, catching the bold horn section and searing guitar solo. It shouted freedom, urging you to chase adventure. Fun fact, the line about 73 men came from co-writer Mike Panera's Rhodes piano, which had exactly 73 keys. Panera left for Iron Butterfly, and later albums strayed from their folk rock fusion, killing their momentum. Their spotlight faded fast. Let's discover another sound that pulls you into a warmer, closer vibe. Can a song wrap you in the warmth of connection back in 1970? That's Alive and Kicking with Tighter, Tighter. This track hit number 7 on the Billboard Hot 100, earned gold disc status, and broke into Canada's top 5. Its bold horn section and heartfelt lyrics about holding someone close made it unforgettable. It felt like a comforting embrace during tough times, lifting spirits everywhere. Tommy James, a hit-making legend, wrote and produced this. He planned to record it himself, but rewrote it as a duet for this Brooklyn band, crafting something truly special. Sadly, Roulette Records pushed for quick follow-ups in what Tommy James called a money laundering operation environment. 2 rushed singles, Just Let It Come and London Bridge, failed to chart, and their spark faded. Next, let's explore into a sound that hits with a bolder edge. What if a single riff could shake the foundations of 1970s rock scene? That's Mountain with Mississippi Queen. Powered by Leslie West's raw, gritty guitar, this track peaked at number 21 on the Billboard Hot 100. It didn't top the pop charts, but its impact resonates, even earning a spot among the 50 heaviest riffs of all time by Guitar Magazine. It roared with untamed energy for a generation hungry to break free. Fun fact, the iconic cowbell intro was pure accident. Born in the studio with drummer Corky Lang and West later debating who sparked the idea, proving magic can strike unplanned. Sadly, internal clashes over Mississippi Queen lyric credits and producer Felix Pappalardi's hearing loss tore them apart. They couldn't sustain that fire. Stick around for another unforgettable vibe from that year. What if a horn riff could ignite pure energy from 1970? That's Vehicle by the Ides of March. This track blasted to number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100 in May 1970, right behind American Woman. Its bold sound, tied to youthful infatuation, hits hard and gets you moving fast. Picture yourself at a live show, bouncing to this rhythm as the crowd surges. It became an anthem for wild crushes and electric nights. Interesting note, those killer horns, inspired by jazz, often had listeners mistaking them for Chicago or Blood, Sweat, and Tears, giving it a standout edge. Unfortunately, they couldn't match this peak. Their follow-up, LA Goodbye, barely charted, and frontman Jim Peterick later formed Survivor, carrying his talent elsewhere. Let's keep going for a sound that blends a smoother, groovier twist. What if a song could fuse jazz and rock into pure 1970 magic? Sugarloaf pulled it off with Green-Eyed Lady.
Green-eyed lady, lovely lady.
This track soared to number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100 and hit number 1 in Canada. Its standout feature? Those long organ solos by Jerry Corbetta on a Hammond B3 over a hard rock edge. They felt fresh and daring for radio back then. It was a musical escape, drawing you into deep, wandering melodies. Fun fact, those extended solos were unusual for pop stations, proof of 1970s taste for experimental sounds. Liberty Records dropped artists in 1971, leaving Sugarloaf without distribution to keep going. Though they later recorded Don't Call Us, We'll Call You to vent industry frustrations, it couldn't match this peak. Next, find out about another powerful sound from that era. What if a single riff could light up the world in 1970? Free did just that with All Right Now. This track reached number 4 on the Billboard Hot 100, topped charts in over 20 countries, and racked up over 3 million US radio plays. Its raw, bluesy rock cut through with a universal edge that hooked everyone. Picture yourself at a festival, belting this out with thousands, feeling that electric unity. It bridged divides in a fractured time, its bold sound binding people together. That iconic riff wasn't planned. Bassist Andy Frazier crafted it on piano before Paul Kossoff brought it to life on guitar. Pure spontaneity at work. But creative tensions unraveled them. Frazier later said they'd become unglued, and Kossoff's addiction deepened the cracks. Their magic slipped away. Even so, the song lived on, becoming a college fight song at Stanford. Now let's dive into a tune that soothes the soul with a gentler touch. What if a song could carry you through the struggles of 1970? That's Ooh Child by the 5 Stairsteps.
Ooh, child, things are gonna.
This soul ballad hit number 8 on the Billboard Hot 100 and number 14 on the R&B chart, earning gold disc status. Its tender harmonies and uplifting words, like things are gonna get easier, things will get brighter, promised better days, touching so many hearts. It offered comfort when life weighed heavy, a reminder to keep going. Fun fact, Rolling Stone ranked it at number 402 on their greatest songs list, proof of its lasting cultural impact beyond just charts. Though they're only pop top 40 hits, they charted on R&B through the 70s, and Clarence Burke Jr. later succeeded with the Invisible Man's Band in 1980. Still, pop stardom faded. Next, let's explore a voice that'll pull at your heartstrings. What if a voice could stop you in your tracks back in 1970? Eddie Holman's "Hey There Lonely Girl" did exactly that. This track peaked at number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100, becoming the first number 2 hit of the decade. His high falsetto, able to leap octaves with rare agility, paired with lush string arrangements that offered a gentle stage, touched listeners with tender power. Picture a quiet evening, this song on the radio as you drift into thought. It poured out raw emotion, speaking to young hearts with its aching yearning. Each note tugged at you, blending loneliness with hope in his delivery. This song is a cover of a 1963 song, but Holman owned it with unmatched vocal strength. Despite his talent, pop fame didn't last. He established his own gospel label and still tours today, evolving his career. Stick around for a sound that brings a brighter, playful energy. What if a song could blend theater with pop straight from 1970? Robin McNamara's "Lay a Little Lovin' on Me" made that happen.
Hey, lay a little lovin' on me.
This bubblegum track climbed to number 11 on the Billboard Hot 100 and hit number 6 in Canada. Its lively, upbeat rhythm carried a bright energy that got your feet tapping without a second thought. It delivered pure, lighthearted fun on warm days, spreading joy everywhere. Fun fact, the backing vocals came from fellow Hair cast members, giving it a theatrical flair that stood out from standard pop. Despite the charm, no big hits followed. His next single, "Got to Believe in Love," only reached number 62 in Canada and flopped in the US. Crossing Broadway routes with pop's formula made a splash, but it couldn't sustain a lasting run. Let's keep going for a melody that tugs at deeper emotions. What if a song could capture the ache of goodbye in 1970? The Poppy Family's "Which Way You Goin', Billy?" hit that mark.
Which way you going, Billy?
This track soared to number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100, sold over 3.5 million copies worldwide, and won 2 Juno Awards. Susan Jack's haunting voice carried raw emotion, each line heavy with longing. Think of rainy days, this somber tune looping in your room. It spoke to love slipping away, a bittersweet counterpoint to brighter hits, reflecting the introspection of the era. If you'd ever felt abandoned, its lyrics painted your gray days darker. Sutwat sings tabla and a sitar blended Eastern and Western sounds, echoing countercultural vibes. But a light and slow touring schedule that lacked live shows cut their visibility. Their mainstream push faded fast. Now, up next, discover a story told in a whole new way. What if a song could spin a story with soul in 1970? The Jaggerz nailed it with "The Rapper." This track soared to number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100, hit number 1 on Record World, and sold over 1 million copies. Its blue-eyed soul mixed with a spoken word style stood out, pulling you in with every funky beat and vivid line. It felt so fresh, capturing the charm of a smooth-talking character in a way that stuck. Fun fact, that rapping section, predating hip-hop by years, became a linguistic time capsule, hinting at a future sound. But they couldn't recapture the magic. Their next 2 singles only hit number 75 and number 88, a sharp drop from this peak. Their spotlight dimmed. Let's discover now another tale with its own surprising twist. What if a song from 1970 could surprise you with a comeback? "Little Green Bag" by George Baker's selection pulled it off. This track reached number 21 on the Billboard Hot 100, but dominated at number 3 in Belgium and number 9 in the Netherlands. Its funky beat had a smooth charm, though US reception stayed modest until years later. Imagine catching this groove back then, letting its cool vibe sink in. It was an underdog hit, not predicted to shine, yet some fans latched on. Interesting side note, it roared back in Quentin Tarantino's 1992 film Reservoir Dogs during that iconic slow-motion opening scene, reigniting US airplay and showing how media can revive a track decades later. Despite over 10 top 10 hits in continental Europe, they couldn't crack the US consistently. This remained their big moment stateside. Let's explore another sound that paints a vivid picture. What if a song could unfold like a movie in 1970? Ardeen Taylor's Indiana Wants Me pulls you into that world. This track hit number 5 on the Billboard Hot 100 and topped Cashbox at number 1. Its chilling police siren effects and fugitive on the run storyline grip you with every dramatic twist. It's storytelling at its finest, leaving you guessing what's next with each verse. Those haunting lyrics sketch desperation and longing in sharp detail. Fun fact, some radio copies cut the sirens after drivers pulled over, mistaking them for real alerts. Taylor's Motown roots, writing for the Four Tops and the Temptations, gave this hit polished depth. Though he scored Canadian and UK hits like Gotta See Jane, none matched this US pop triumph. Stick around for a rhythm that'll get you moving. What if a beat could define summer nights in 1970? Chairmen of the Board brought that magic with Give Me Just a Little More Time. This soul hit peaked at number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100, number 8 on the R&B chart, and even reached number 3 in the UK. Its driving rhythm and pleading vocals burst with energy, begging you to dance. Picture beach parties along the Carolina coast, this tune blasting under the hot sun. It became a staple of Carolina beach music, still loved in southern coastal towns, as a timeless memory. Fun fact, General Johnson kept its spirit alive, performing it on the oldies circuit for years. But their run stumbled. Holland Dozier Holland used the pseudonym Edith Wayne amid a lawsuit, and a later record label switch hurt their chart momentum. Pop fame slipped away. Still, its plea for sweetness in life mirrored 1970s hunger for romantic hope. Let's continue now with another unexpected sound from 1970. What if a song could fuse faith with raw rock energy? In 1970, Norman Greenbaum's Spirit in the Sky caught everyone off guard. This track hit number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100 and claimed number 1 in the UK, Australia, Canada, and Ireland. Its fuzzy guitar, crafted on a Fender Telecaster with a built-in fuzz circuit, became an instantly recognizable sound across the airwaves. Picture hanging out at a friend's place, this unique spiritual vibe flowing from the speakers. It stood out, mixing gospel with a hard edge in a year of diverse tunes. Greenbaum, with his Jewish background, wrote a Christian-themed hit, showing music's power to cross cultural lines and connect us all. Sadly, live shows fell short without a full band or gospel backing singers to match the studio magic. No strong follow-ups emerged either. His chart run faded. Now let's take a moment to reflect on all these unforgettable sounds. What if these 1970 hits could still spark a memory today? They're more than just songs. They're snapshots of your youth, a summer day, a late-night drive, or a quiet moment that shaped you. Which hit did you first hear crackling through the radio? Share that memory in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more living memories of your past.